everyone, I'm Carius, and today we're taking a look at my Motostryke. You might be able to tell that the front of it is a little different than most Motostrykes, because I went and chopped the front half of a Zeus off and chopped the front off of this, and now we have a double cage mega flywheeler. I initially modded the Motostryke for 3S, and just rewired it and used the stock motors and everything. But the cage on the Motostryke is so low crush that the performance was pretty terrible, and I just wasn't happy with it. So I decided I wanted to do a bit of an integration, use a rival cage, and instead of doing the easy thing and 3D printing a new cage, which is what I would recommend anybody wanting to mod a Motostryke, just by now there should be a decent cage available to print for this thing. When I made this, the Motostryke had just come out, and it was kind of bash in your own cage or design your own or stick the front half of a Zeus on it, which is what I ended up with. So these are blended together, I think, pretty well. The closer you look at it, the weirder it looks, but I think I managed to get them pretty well lined up. I started by lining up the shells and figuring out what I wanted all the cuts to be, using the Mr. Nathan method, which is cut almost there, file it closer, and then you bond it with some DevCon plastic welder. And that's the actual structural bond between the shells. And then to make it pretty, you use some Epoxy Sculpt, which is this two-part epoxy that is real nice to work with. You just kind of can put it in where you want it and then take some water kind of on your fingers and smooth it, and you can get some nice shapes and some nice clean lines from it, just depending on how much patience you have and how much time you want to put into it. This is a little rough if you look closely, but it still turned out pretty nice. I kind of built up this line here into the Zeus, and then made this section out of putty to kind of cover up all this mess. More importantly is how it fires. Rival cages, just stock, will shoot mega darts pretty well, and once you mod them for 3S, they will really send mega darts flying. It's super high crush, so it can be a little rough on the darts, but for the most part, I haven't had any issues, especially shooting these. I think they're called Whirlwind Megas now when you search for them. They're giant AccuFakes, basically, but they're the big AccuStrike off-brand Megas that anyone who's real serious about shooting mega darts has a ton of these, because they're the only accurate mega darts that exist. You got the Buzzbee suction cup darts are alright, and actual AccuStrike dart Megas are a little better, but none of them hold a candle to these in terms of accuracy you get, especially at higher FPSs. So we got our two cages linked together with a custom PVC bit. I kind of made my own Morpheus guide, and the darts feed pretty consistently, but they all come out at a slight angle. Like, they all shoot a little bit to one side, but they shoot super accurately slightly to the side. So, like, as long as you know it's going to shoot that direction, you can hit what you're aiming at, but you just got to aim weird. So I'm not sure what happened there. Something's out of alignment, but the flywheels seem to be lined up. When I originally put these two pieces together, I stuck a big pipe that I was able to squish in between the flywheels of both pairs of both cages so that I could get the blasters lined up. But apparently something's out of whack, and it's way too late to fix it now. And I just gave it kind of a little spritzing of red paint, because both pieces of the blaster are already red, so I just needed to blend them together to make sure you didn't have this weird, like, two-tone red going on, and to cover up all the Epoxy Sculpt putty. And then I just painted everything else black, aside from the white details, and I think it looks pretty good. It was a super easy paint job. It's just vinyl dye. My favorite kind of paint job is super lazy one that is really durable and doesn't require all the sanding and all the extra work that a serious paint job requires. So yeah, this is my Motostryke. let's put it in front of the chronograph and shoot some cups. Oh, and one note about my chronograph. It's a Caldwell ballistic chronograph, the standard, like, you want a chronograph on Amazon for $100, here it is. But mine, I wired up to an adapter over here. So I've got a 9-volt to AC outlet adapter so that I don't have to worry about batteries. I just flip a switch for the lights on this side, and then my chronograph turns on. And the IR sensor bars here that let it work inside, it's a separate kit you can buy. I got those hooked up to the same outlet, and I can just turn on my chronograph and just have it on, and I don't have to worry about 9-volt batteries burning up all the time. It's a Zeus. It's a Motostryke. No, it's both. So Mega Dart FPSs are always going to be a lot lower than regular darts. If you're hitting 100 FPS with a Mega Dart, you're hitting pretty hard. I don't think this quite does that, but about to find out. Oh, never mind. 137. Okay. That's got some thump to it. Yeah, so it's hitting almost 140 FPS, which is a lot for Mega Darts. And it's consistently shooting to the left. I think there's some kind of alignment issue with the two cages. I'm not sure how, but you can still aim it and hit what you're aiming at. You just have to aim to the right of your target a little bit. So it's sending these AccuFake Megas at 140 FPS, which 80 FPS is a lot for a Mega Dart. 140 is, if I were to just go ahead and shoot my hand. Yeah, that hurts. And those AccuStrike Megas are really hefty. So this is pretty mean, actually. I would not shoot somebody close up with this. And now that I look at it down the barrel, it does seem like the flywheels in the Zeus are just a little bit to the left of the flywheels in the Motostryke. So that would explain it tilting slightly. So I loaded up Busby Tyrant mag with Mega Darts. Whoop. Oh, that's weird. Oh, there we go. They load in super smoothly as long as you line it up right. The weird gap here, though, makes it so you can accidentally, like, get it stuck incorrectly. Strange. Anyway, got a Tyrant mag loaded up. Let's see if we can hit these cups. It's really weird aiming to the right of where you're shooting. And every once in a while the dart will fly straight. So you'll be way off. Let's see if I can hit those last two cups with it. So the thing about having an extra 2 darts in these Tyrant mags is just really nice. This might even be 13 darts, I'm not sure. Took forever to hit the first one, and then I hit the second one in my first shot. Yeah, just print yourself a cage and not worry about lining up 2 pairs of flywheels like this. Especially with such a, like, non-symmetrical shell as the Zeus. I mean, look at that. So I'll take a quick look at the darts I shot. So, throwing Megas through a rival cage can be a little rough on them. But these seem to be doing alright. If you look super closely, some of them definitely show signs of being crushed a bit, but they're still perfectly fine darts. I did have one that lost its head, got tore right out, but all the rest are perfectly fireable still. But you definitely do get some extra wear on your darts throwing mega darts through a rival cage, so just be aware of that. A little bit of cup carnage. They hit pretty hard, and this one was just stuck on the cup, so I thought that was kind of funny. So just for fun, I want to compare the Chronograph Numbers with a 3S rival blaster. So I got my Percy's here, which is all souped up and has this nice foregrip and battery plate and such. Other than that, it's just a standard 3S rewire of a Percy's. And it's super easy with the Percy's to just load in mega darts. You can actually load in 2 or 3 of them and have them fire one after another pretty easily. This is probably the most mega dart friendly rival blaster, aside from the Zeus, because you can just throw mega darts in a rival magazine just to be silly. But anyway, let's see how the FPS compares to the Motostryke. Yeah, so a 3S rival cage by itself looks like it hits 120, and you see you can get kind of a 2-round burst with the Percy's, just sticking 2 mega darts in it. $119, $116, I think I saw a high of 126, so yeah. The addition of the whole other cage from the Motostryke only adds 10 FPS, 10 to 20. That's like 20 FPS. So you can really see the rival cage from the Zeus is doing most of the work on the Motostryke. And the cages in rival blasters are pretty much identical in terms of performance. There's like slight differences, but you put them on 3S, you're going to expect to see the same performance out of a Zeus or a Percy's or a Prometheus or any of the rival flywheelers. We'll do about the same thing on 3S. The Percy's just happens to be the most convenient one to throw mega darts through. Cool. And that's my Percy's extra mod. And now for something silly. This is what I like to call the cup density test. It is my new visual representation of how powerful a Nerf gun is. Just showing what kind of damage it does when shot into the first layer of cups and seeing them all spread out. So this is 81 cups. It's just 9x9. I happen to have a bunch of different colors, so I made it into a rainbow. And we're going to fix the camera up here somehow and see what the Motostryke does point blank to this. I think it'll be pretty cool to watch. Motostryke versus the ballistic cup test. Just for comparison, we have a lightly modded Fire Strike. Doesn't do much on the cup density test. Now let's try something bigger. You'll have to wait till the next video to see what that was. This poor green one in the front is shredded. Thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed the video. I'll see you in the next one, and until then, this has been Carius reminding you to have fun.